bring in brother Abdul. How are you doing today, my brother? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm excited to, share my experience and hopefully inspire all of you, that are looking to break into tech sales and just share, with all the insights that I've learned. And I'm just here to, just talk and give you guys that needed information that you need to put you in the right direction. So I'm good.
Absolutely.
I'm good.
Absolutely. Fantastic, man. So, Abdul, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, pleasure.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Give us some history, right? Like, give us a background. Who is Mr. Abdul? What did Mr. Abdul does at a summary level? What do you do now? And then we're going to
hmm
dive deep into, how you have navigated your journey to get in tech sales. Tell everybody who Mr. Abdul is.
Yes. So I would describe myself as someone who is very high energy. I am located in Vancouver, Canada, and for me, my whole philosophy is just to get the most out of life while you're here, and to reach the best possible situation for yourself in life, and to just have goals and be ambitious. Um, so my background, I did not go to college at all. I am a big believer in self-education, but formal education I was not a big fan of at all.
Mm.
And I've always wanted to become entrepreneurial ever since I was 15 years old. And I knew sales, if you know how to sell, it's a very important skill to have. If you know how to sell, you will do well in business. So that's just a brief synopsis of the kid.
Wow, no, that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. So, you're from Canada or you're living in Canada. Is that where you're from originally or where you're originally from?
But my background, so I was born in Vancouver, but my background, I am, Zimbabwean
Okay.
and Congolese. So, first generation Canadian with, some strong African, roots and heritage.
Very good. Very good. Very good. And talk about like your journey throughout school. Were you like a great student and so forth, and you just said, you know what, I don't want to go to college, and talk about what reason you decided not to go to college. Like, what was the main reason?
Um, so the type of student I was in high school, again, I'm a huge, believer in education and knowledge and, learning, but Uh, this thought came in my head when I was like 15 years old. Like when I was in grade 9, I was like, I don't think I want to go to college because the whole thing was, you get a degree and, you kind of have to go into debt. And the whole thing for me too was like long term, I don't really want to, work for anybody long term. And that's the whole
Mm.
point of college, right? Is to just get a degree to be a good employer. I mean, obviously I am employed, but not for the long term, right? I mean, that's that's the whole thing that came in my head, like, yeah, this is not for me at all.
Wow. So you always knew you wanted to be an entrepreneur. Is that because like you had family members in your family that were, entrepreneurial, started their own business? Is that what you saw around, the your respective parents, the people you grew up around? Like, what was that? Because a lot of I think about, okay, I have a 7-year old daughter. You said you thought about that at 9, and one thing that my daughter says to me every single day is, Daddy, I want to own my own bakery, right? I want to have my own bakery, which is an entrepreneurship spirit, right? But I'm just like, okay, well, I'm thinking that's coming from the fact that we've introduced her to like entrepreneurship. Her dad owns his own company and so forth. But where did that come from for you? Was that something that you saw from your parents, the people that you grew up with, and stuff? Dig into a little bit where that come from.
Man, that's a really great question. I would honestly have to say that it didn't really come from anybody. It was
Mm,
just like something within me that was like, I want to do big. And again, it goes back to what I've said earlier, like, being ambitious and just, doing, you know things at a high level in life. And I feel like, being an entrepreneur is one of those things. If you're an entrepreneur, in my perspective, you're living life at a pretty high level. And not just that for myself, but to also help out my family members and build generational wealth. You
Mm,
know, that's
mm,
another motivation for me.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So, as you were thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, you finished high school, because I'm assuming that's what you did, and then you say, you know what, I'm not going to go to school. So after high
Mhm.
school, what did you do to really navigate towards your entrepreneurship journey? Did you set up a business? Did you start working for somebody? Did you how did you figure that all out? Tell the audience, after high school, what did you do after that?
All right. So after high school, I had an idea of like what I wanted to, like I had that idea, like yeah, I wanted to be a business owner, but I didn't know what to do, right? Like what specifically to do. So I kind of, I'll be honest, my first, job out of high school was a retail, um, retail job.
Yep.
So, working in retail in the mall. And on the side, I would do like, search engine optimization, which basically is like the optimization of websites, ranking websites on Google.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be calling local businesses like, plumbers, dentists, and I'll just be reaching out to them like, hey, you're on page 5. Do you want to get on page 1? So that was kind of my introduction to like B2B selling. It didn't really go the way I wanted to, and I needed more money. So the retail job I was working wasn't giving me enough hours. So I had to get a warehouse job. I had to work in a warehouse job, and I'll tell you, it wasn't fun. It wasn't the greatest. I actually worked like, 2 warehouse jobs. And on the side, I was still trying to, I was still trying to make another side business. So I did like, copywriting. That didn't work out well too, but I did get one guy. It was really funny. This was like the first time I ever made money online, and this was a sign that I knew entrepreneurship was for me.
Mm.
I literally just emailed this guy, got on a call with him, and I got a stranger to give me, money for a service. And that told me like, well, if I can do this, I can do this 10 times over. That didn't work out well too. So I just continued working, the warehouse job. And then, 2020 came, and then, the rest is history to where I am now.
Wow. And the reason why I'm laughing at Abdul is because I talk about warehousing a lot, right? And many of people in my audience actually, work in warehouses and stuff like that, and they're doing absolutely fantastic because some of them are at the management level and so forth, right? In manufacturing. But I've worked inside warehouses before. What I mean, I worked inside warehouses. I was, responsible for implementing software that the warehouse used in order for them to do their job, right? So I got a chance to see what it was like for people inside those warehouses. Let me tell you this, as you stated, those jobs aren't fun. You're on your feet all day, sometimes 12 hours, sometimes 16, sometimes 18 hours a day. There were times where I had to personally be inside that warehouse for 18 hours because I had to make sure the software was working the correct way and so forth. And, orders had to be picked and orders had to be shipped in order for customers to be able to get their goods. And I say this for you all, and you guys have seen the video, Warehouse Kills, for you all who want to get out of the warehouse work and you have very good communication skills, you are disciplined, right? You want to make a career transition, you like helping people and solving problems, you should certainly look into a career in tech sales. And we're going to have Mr. Abdul talk about what tech sales is and how he got into it to help you with that transition into something like this. So, Mr. Abdul, he got out of college, worked, online jobs, worked warehouse jobs, try to start his entrepreneurship journey. And for many of us, we have no idea what that is. We have an idea that we want to be an entrepreneur, but we don't know where to even start, right? Well, what business is it that's going to allow for us to make money and so forth? And I would tell you like this, I personally think people should go towards entrepreneurship once they already have a skill that is already solidified. That could be sales, that could be some sort of tech skills of becoming a data analyst. Once you have a skill and a foundation, that's when I personally believe you should start your entrepreneurship journey if that's the path that you want to take. And sales sales, it's definitely a way for you to build on and develop solid foundational skills that's going to be able to translate into you making more money or growing your company and keeping your company alive if you decide to go towards the entrepreneur, I can't even say it, the entrepreneurship journey.